Hi, this is for Tim. Tim, hi, Collin Riley here, long time no see. I was just going to make a little video for you about the progress of your guitar, which as you know is a 1930s style, like a Gibson L style from the 30s. They made a little bit different style in the 20s, and then this is the kind that they made in the 30s, which was kind of their improved version that competed a little more directly with the Martin models. With the bracing pattern and a few things, but it still had some, distinctively Gibson features that really are special. I'm partial to the Gibsons. But anyway, I wanted to show you what I've been able to do. Why don't we start over here with the sides of the body. I guess I could bring this over. These clamps are about ready to come off. These sides I had to bend. They're of African mahogany, and they're pretty good pieces, and the bends went pretty well. Then the neck block here, I've cut out a dovetail joint that the neck will go into when I get the neck finished here. And then this is the heel block. And one thing that's unique to the Gibson style instruments is that these have to be radiused to a precise radius, these blocks here. I put a little bit of adhesive sandpaper inside on the actual sides themselves. This is a homemade mold here. And then I put sandpaper on there, and I just sand it down until I get the precise radius of these sides. For when I glue it on, it just sucks up against it without a lot of stress from the clamps. And that's really important. You don't want to build a lot of stress into the instrument. Now I've used maple here on the neck block and heel block, which is a little bit unusual. The neck that I'm making for you is made out of maple as well, which, although on electric guitars many times they use maple, on acoustic guitars, on the original classical guitars and the early steel strungs, they used Spanish cedar, which is very light and very easy to work. Mainly for that precise reason that it's light and easy to work and was readily available because it was used for cigar humidors and things like that. But then as pattern grade mahogany from Brazil became more, or from the Honduras, excuse me, became more available, most of the guitar manufacturers switched over to Honduran mahogany, because it is similarly easy to work and it's a nice lightweight wood. But I use the maple mainly because it's very stable, and I'm going to show you the method that I use. But whatever you use, you want the block to be the same expansion coefficient as the material that you're using for the neck, so that they don't settle differently and cause some problem with the geometry of the guitar. So since I'm using maple for the neck, I use maple for the neck block, and incidentally I use it for the heel block too. That makes it real time consuming to sand in that radius, and it's a little tough on the tools. Cutting one dovetail joint is not that big a deal. I keep my saw and my chisels sharp, but you have to sharpen them more when you're using hard maple as opposed to some of these lower density hardwoods. Anyway, so that's kind of like what that looks like. I'm going to do a few more processes on this rim before I am able to put the top on. This is the neck as I've got it so far, and basically this was 2-inch thick maple, and usually I wouldn't overshoot it quite this much, but 2 inches was all I had. And you want to use the ends of it so it'll be perfectly on quarter, so it has this straight grain, so it'll have the best stability. And up here at the top, I need this to be a little over 3 inches, and down at the bottom it's about 2.5-ish, something like that. So, a 2-inch piece wouldn't do it, and since this is the material I have, now this whole thing is 4 inches wide. But the main thing to note about this is all one piece of quartered lumber. Since it's on its end here, it was flat sawn, but it's quartered grain, straight grain on the ends here. And I've cut out the shape with the 14-degree taper on the headstock with a bandsaw, and then I've laminated these two pieces together. So this is a very, very strong neck. And I'm just gonna, with my hand plane, make this, you know, perfectly flat and straight, and check it against my accurate straight edge and make sure this is straight and everything before I put the fingerboard on. And I'm gonna cut the, cut the dovetail joint down here as well. And I made some notes of the specifications for the neck block. A lot of people put this block in and then do it with a router after the fact, but the way I do it is I just cut it by hand and put it in there already cut. And I've done it both ways, and that one works best for me. So what else can I show you? Here's the top here, and come on over here, honey, and you can look at the inscription that I put on here, if you could put it on there. I signed it with my name and the month here, July 2010, serial number 009, made for Tim Pratt with love. And then these braces here, this is very time consuming, making and shaping these braces, especially on this X-brace pattern. It's quite a few braces and just takes a while. I mean, it's not like it's the end of the world, probably half a day or something, but it is hard, because what happens after you shape them and everything, you have to do that same process I described on the neck. I have this concave dish here, and I put sandpaper on it, and then I radius the bottom of those braces so it makes the same domed shape, and I press it down into this domed shape with these fiberglass rods. This is called a go-bar press, and it's kind of an ancient method of joining wood this way, and it's used by a lot of instrument makers. A lot of people make a flat top, but it doesn't have quite the strength or the tonal quality as if there's a slight concave quality to the top, like it's domed. Foot radius, it's more severe. So this top is mostly ready to go. I had to resaw and thickness plane and join these two pieces to make the top. I inlaid a small rosette here and put a plastic inlay around the inside of the sound hole so that it would be stable and moisture wouldn't wick out of the ends. And then I put this nice X bracing pattern on there. It has a beautiful, beautiful sound. This is going to be a beautiful sounding instrument. This top is a little thicker than some of the bigger ones that I do, but I'm making it to the precise specifications that Gibson made it to in the 30s. And for some reason they made the backs and the sides a little thinner and the top a little thicker, and then a little bit thinner bridge plate. But Gibson, when you see all the precise tolerances they do for every part of their guitars, they're very, very well engineered. So I'm trying to preserve their original thought, as opposed to outthink them, and then maybe I'm not compensating for another element of their engineering. I guess that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna be able to put the lining in, the sides, and then taper down the back, and then brace the back tomorrow. I'll probably join the top to the rim, and then the back will probably be the next day, and then I'll set the neck. I'll shape the neck while that's drying, and then I don't know, next day or two I'll have the neck set, and then I make the bridge and put the peg head overlay on and put the tuners on. But it's coming. We're looking forward to August 8th. Thanks. See ya.